LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga is an absolute staple in the gaming community, especially for Gen Z, and the game is actually fairly easy, until we have to do this challenge, one heart only. Now, originally the challenge was going to be if I die, I restart the level, but that was going to be way too time consuming, so that should appease all of you for now. If there's enough traction for this video, I'll 100% the game with one heart, and only allowed to use score multipliers. So without a further ado, let's get into it. On episode 1, level 1, it was a slow start, unaware as to what I was getting myself into, but we rolled through with no deaths by spamming lightsaber attacks. Level 2 was definitely trickier, having spent around 20 minutes on this one. I ran through the droid army and their landing on Naboo, then found Jar Jar. The main reason it took so long to get through this level is because of how many times I died at this part right here. We got 4 mini-kits as I progressed through the level to make it easier on myself in the future if I decided to do it 100% and headed right into level 3. Level 3 is probably my least favorite level in the game solely because of how repetitive it feels every time I replay the game. Which may sound stupid, but I just have all bland characters in my hand to play as that I don't have any connection with. But I pushed through after dying to these stupid droids and losing all my studs. Pod racing was definitely one that I loved and was also a small breather from what came later in the video. It was actually possible to get studs or even true Jedi in this one too, so it was just a blast. Now, back on Naboo, I had Padme blast everyone down with this little speeder, which for some reason had 3 hearts, but only a few vehicles actually did that, which I wish was like that for every vehicle, but unfortunately not. Anywho, we shot down some more droids, got lost, then used Anakin to unlock this area, then rescued all these pilot dudes who, by the way, should have been competent enough to help themselves. Now for our first boss fight with Darth Maul. We threw objects in his face, then chased after him as he jumped away like a frog, killed some droidicas blocking our path, then plowed Maul like I plow my fields, even though he had 10 times the hearts as us. I hated this level because there were so many unnecessary turrets, or maybe it's because I only have 1 heart. But either way, I just died over and over again. We did some street racing on Coruscant, a Mustang hit a person or two, those human-hungry cars that they are, and I then shot this bounty hunter down. Don't think I'll be returning to this neighborhood anytime soon. Now on Camino, a friendly place for the most part, we entered their facility to take a gander at what we have in store for us. That being a clone army that surely won't turn against us anytime in the near future. Our mission here is to find who sent that bounty hunter after Padme. And we find Jango Fett and his spoiled brat son Boba. We chased him after he unleashed his flying drone army, but we couldn't manage to stop him. Luckily for us though, our boy Obi-Wan threw a tracker onto his ship. We landed on Geonosis as Anakin and Padme to rescue Obi-Wan from his captors. Diving headfirst into a random droid factory with our wifey Padme, while we were supposed to be protecting her may not seem reasonable, but anything for the lady, you know. Obi-Wan is just sitting there trapped and helpless, so we rescue him, but end up getting caught and sent to an arena. Now we rescue the 3 Stooges as Master Mace Windu, Master of the Dews. There's an abundance of droids here, weak and strong, that we have to navigate through, whilst not dying every 3 seconds. Luckily, in this level there are blue orbs that make us invincible, so we cheesed our way through, saving each of our characters one by one, taking on waves of droids. And with that, after killing Jango Fett, we now have 2 levels left in episode 2 until we are finished with it. Back to another flying level. This was awful trying to navigate without getting shot once when I'm dragging a bomb along, losing all progress. It felt pretty short though, and it got especially easy at the end, as there were more blue orbs to make me invincible, so in the end I was fine. Last level of episode 2, we're fighting Dooku, but he's an easy target, believe it or not, as with any boss battle having 1 heart. Anakin got clapped, so Yoda had to come in for the clutch, and now we're on to one of the easiest levels of the game. For the entire level, I held down the shoot button, guaranteeing maximum stud gain, which also minimized how many times I raged because I died to stray lasers. I can't say there were many negatives to playing this one, besides one spot I got stuck in for a few minutes, that I had to maneuver successfully to not get hit. We boarded the Separatist ship. We see General Grievous staring us down in the hallway, which we choose to ignore. I'd rather the bear over him. Now at the elevators, we take out some droids and grab R2, which we finally meet Dooku one final time, and Anakin decapitates the hell out of him. We have to run from the elevator moving towards us now, and find ourselves at the bridge of the ship, where we fight Grievous's Magna Guards whilst he escapes. Crash landing on Coruscant, Obi-Wan heads out with Commander Cody to take out General Grievous once and for all, which happened way too fast. Yoda is dapping up his low slime Chewbacca. If you know, you know. ICLTS PMO. And all these clones executing Order 66 on his ass. Yoda helps Chewie rescue his fellow Wookiees. They move to the ground to try to send Yoda on his way because he's just causing trouble at this point. And better out of sight, out of mind. I absolutely despise this level. So I got stuck for a solid 10 minutes running around this beach area before I finally progressed. And yada yada yada, Yoda's now on his way to the Jedi Temple with Obi-Wan. Now we're at the Jedi Temple and we confront these suspicious looking individuals. Moving forward, we're killing off all these sus clones, avoiding all death. We see how Anakin killed all the younglings in the Jedi archives. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, Anakin's turn to the dark side. And I hate to say it, but it's definitely lacking some awesomeness. I got stuck here for a few minutes once more because the AI wanted to keep walking into death, but nevertheless, I progressed forward and jumping over some lava, I ended up slicing Anakin like a nice salmon fillet. We're now halfway done with the game, so we're playing as Leia and Captain Antilles. Or Captain Anchovies? Regardless, our cruiser is being invaded by the new Empire, with Darth Vader being present. Surviving the invasion, Leia finds R2-D2 and gives him the plans they received to the new Death Star. Leaving her behind, we send C-3PO and R2 to Tatooine. Fully regretting my life choices of taking on this challenge, we're now playing as Luke as we attack the Tuskens on their home planet. We can only do so much with so little to work with. We find R2 and C-3PO in the Dune Sea and make our way to Obi-Wan's house for a little fun. Arriving in Mos Eisley Spaceport in search of a ship off the planet to get R2's secret plans to the Rebel Alliance, we have to deal with these absolute a-holes and build ourselves an AT-ST. Afterwards, we find Han and Chewie again, sitting in the cantina, and they agree to give us a ride. But don't be fooled, even Han isn't invincible to these stormtroopers. But pushing past that, we arrive at the ship and fight off this low plunger face guy who places an ambush on us, which we jumped around and somehow lived through, then head to space. But unfortunately, we got sucked into the Death Star's tractor beams after mistaking it for a cheese moon, and we got an upset tummy. Now, we have to send Obi-Wan off and sacrifice him to save ourselves. We took a little visit to the indoor spa and took out our enemies when they were most vulnerable. Next, we arrived in the brig to rescue Princess Leia, because of course, we aren't going to just go on this mission without someone to simp over, right? Anywho, we freed her and ended up in a pile of garbage. I was feeling brave and rushed headfirst into the unknown, only to be slaughtered around the corner. But that wasn't smart. And then I decided to be dumb again and dropped down from this platform into a large group of stormtroopers. Call me Einstein, but I prevailed as always and found a blue orb by the grace of God. Some tomfoolery later, and I found this sweet low ride that I slid all over the floor with. Not bad, might have to cop one of these myself. This level is just full of a shit ton of stormtroopers, and there's nothing you can do about it. Other than be me and be badass. But seriously, there were so many stormtroopers I had to fight. It wasn't even fun at that point. All this just for Obi-Wan to die. Though, I guess it was for a good cause. Back aboard the Falcon though, we gave the plans to the Alliance and headed back with an X-Wing. Now this is where the fun begins. Another flying level where I'm doomed to gain 0 studs and have 0 fun. But at least it's content for you guys? Some of it was due to my own poor gaming skills, the other half was just pure nonsense. It was all about holding down X to see if I'll live again. We made it to the trench of the Death Star though, and somehow got True Jedi and also the 2x stud multiplier brick, just before I destroyed the Death Star. Now, it's time for episode 5, and this is going to be a real short one. This was also awful. Back-to-back flying levels is not my thing with the One Heart Challenge. Boom boom pow, AT-AT down, and the rest to go. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are you in the cantina? Well, it's because while I was trying to record episode 5, it turns out I wasn't recording after the first level. So don't be too upset, because I just know you wanted to see the challenges. Anyways, just know I died a lot in the asteroid field. Let's move on to episode 6, finally. With a short trip inside Jabba's palace to rescue the frozen Han Solo as Leia and Chewbacca, we found Luke and got trapped with the Rancor, but R2's quick thinking took him out in no time, saving us from dying over 50 times this level. Because we upset Synox_Jabba, we had to get sent to the Sarlacc pit, but we had other plans with Lando making a clutch save for us. We sent Boba Fett to his demise and got over to Jabba's ship and took it down like one of the 2 towers in 01. Now we made it onto Endor with plans to take out the Empire's shield generators for the second Death Star. Because we knew of it somehow? Either way, we found some speeders and went for a joyride, knowing that one twig and we'll lose half our studs. I'm actually surprised I didn't die more than the amount I did. Give myself a pat on the back for that. After building an AT-ST out of a wood cage, we shot down this force field thingy and made our way over to this AT-AT and took down the base. With our Ewok friend Wicket, I destroyed his home by shooting everything, but made up for it by dying in front of him as I attempted to stop these scout troopers from rappelling up. Fast forward 15 minutes later, and I'm disabling the shield generators while also dying to more scout troopers. Base goes boom, and now we're fighting the Emperor, which was super fast. Kind of proud of myself for not stalling on that one. But now we have to take down the second Death Star for realsies, which was hell. I'm telling you, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. TIE fighters just kept spawning out of nowhere, but it's alright, we've managed and pushed through. And there you have it, folks. After watching this video, you have every reason to not want to play a LEGO game with just one heart. This video took the most effort for me to make by far, so please consider subscribing and hitting the like button, so I can put myself through more pain-induced torture like this again. I mean, challenges. Thank you for watching, and see y'all next time. Peace.